I know the mainstream media. I know the mainstream media is out there reporting the news. Do you think the mainstream media is not telling us all the truth? It's not reporting all the truthful news.
Well, I think that mainstream media in some cases does report the truth. I think it depends on kind of their motivations for what they're trying to share. So I think sometimes people want to report on what their own personal convictions are, and so they kind of slant the media news towards that direction. But I think there is probably a lot of biases in media reporting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think a lot of people have their opinions, and that bleeds into what information they want to share. And so it's really important for people to understand that first, and then second, be able to differentiate between people's opinions and facts.
Do you think, as Americans, do you think we're getting the truth from the mainstream media as Americans?
I believe that mainstream media gives us partial truths. I think they report what they want to report. I think a lot of truth is withheld from the American public, absolutely. And I think that the different media stations are swayed to different beliefs and whatnot. So they pick and choose what they want to report and how they want to put it across to the American public.
All right, as Americans, do you think that they're not being opinionated enough between both sides? Because we're all Americans. Do you think they're not being opinionated enough and allowing both sides to speak, and to that way, all of us as American citizens can hear that and decide on ourselves what's best way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's really important for people to first understand the things that they like and the things that they are attracted to. I think so much in American media we are told what to like, we're told how to feel, and so with that people just kind of go with what they've been told to do, and they don't really critically think about what they like.
Yeah, and just to build on that, I think sometimes people in the news channels want to generate ratings. So I think sometimes having controversial issues and dwelling on those or harping on those does get those the ratings that they want. But I think when it comes down to media reporting, it's about uncovering things that the media doesn't, or the American public doesn't know about. So it's finding those facts that are not talked about. And I think that speaking on the truth and not necessarily your opinion, I think is the position that these news channels need to take.
Because it would be like me coming out here and goofing around out here, not doing my job like I'm doing now, like most time when I do my job. So it's kind of the same way. It's just you gotta do your job. No matter if it's freelance or paid, you gotta make sure you do your job, make sure you're telling the story right or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think that as an American, as a Black American, it's important for all sides of the story to be shared. I think that there's opportunities in the media for stories from different angles to be shared. I feel like sometimes it's a little polarizing, and then it's only one side of the coin. So there's definitely opportunity for other sides to be shared.
Definitely, I totally agree with my sister.
What do you think as Americans we can do to fix this problem that we're facing?
Well, I guess that would be a tough one, because there's been a lot of problems with media, government, world in general, and the problem seems to be so big that what can you do as one person? I myself, as far as issues like the media withholding things and 1,000 million other issues in this world that are just too big for one person. My belief is it's got to start within the individual, and it's the individual that needs to self-reflect on what their beliefs are and what the truth is, and become one with that, become part of that, and learn about that. And the individual is changing, they can then let other people know to do the same thing. And as that spreads, that's when we're going to see change happen in this world.
What did you guys tell folks at home about this? What did you tell them be the best thing to do?
I think the best thing is to practice mindfulness and be aware of yourself. I think today, especially in these times, a lot of people are so, they're pulled in so many different directions that they really feel like they don't have anywhere to go and they're really outside of themselves. So I think it's a really important time for people to, meditate on the things that are important on them and focus on the center, because if everybody is in a line with themselves, then we shouldn't have any issues. But it's when people are unaware of themselves, or they feel like, someone else is doing something better than them and they're jealous or whatever it may be, people start to act out and act differently. And so I think it's important for us to be very aware of who we are as humans walking around this earth, and that we have to be neighborly to our neighbors. We have to be loving and kind.
Yeah, not losing the humanity. Like, at the end of the day, we're all people trying to provide for our families and do the best we can. And so kind of not losing that aspect. I think also checking out different sources. So I think sometimes people heavily rely on one media stream, and I think that there's ways to kind of go above and beyond, whether that talking to different groups that are not like you, or just exploring other media outlets to get a more well-rounded insight to the stories.
I've been loving you the best I can, the best I can.